What's going on, IBT fam? Elliot and Seth here from the track at the Pocono Raceway. The Great American Getaway 400 is in the history books. Ryan Blaney takes home the win. We just finished up at his winner's press conference in there, Seth. Man, it was sure an exciting race today at the Tricky Triangle.
Man, a ton of cautions, especially late in the race, and also a very strategy-filled race here, Elliot. Ty Gibbs didn't work out for him on the pole. Even Denny Hamlin, he stayed out to get that stage win early in the race, kind of bit him in the butt, was never able to kind of get back on that front row later in. But hey, it really worked out for some Fords. Brad Keselowski, Chris Buescher, Joey Logano, and Ryan Blaney, all top 10 finishes for him.
Yeah, the strategy really worked out well, especially for the Team Penske Fords. Ryan Blaney taking home the checkered flag, his second of the season following a win in Iowa. And we talked about what that means to him for the number 12 team's playoff push.
Yeah, it's always, it's nice when you win your first one, you get locked in, and then it's all about, like, all right, how do we win more, and how do you pad your playoff points? Because, yeah, like you said, the first round is wacky. You have the Glen, you have Atlanta, Bristol. The first round is like a big curveball for everybody, and so the best you can do is just try to pad your stats, and give you a little bit of wiggle room if you do have things that go wrong. Atlanta, you can get tore up lap 2 and be done. So if you have a little bit in the bank, it helps you out just a little bit more. So that's kind of the biggest goal right now, is how do you continue to win more races? How do you continue to kind of charge up through there in points, with us trying to get the top 10 get playoff points. So how do we get to the top 5 or so to even get more? So that's a huge thing in our mind right now. But wins has like always been the top priority for our group. Our team has always kind of just been aggressive with how we call races and how we run. And we've kind of lived and died by that. Sometimes it works for you, sometimes it doesn't work. But I feel like if you change up how you approach races and weekends like all the time with being aggressive, conservative, you can kind of spin yourself out. It's almost like playing roulette and you're back and forth between red and black, and red and black is like, just stick to your color and maybe it'll come around for you. So this group has done a good job of always sticking to what they believe in, and it's always nice, when it does work out for you. Like I said, sometimes it doesn't, and you just have to shrug your shoulders and be like, well, that didn't work out for us today. But you move on, and you just kind of understand that that's the way of the world.
Yeah, Elliot, we also talked to Joey Logano afterwards about Team Penske. They've now won 4 of the last 7 points-paying races. Vibes are high as they head to Indy, home of the captain.
You're back in victory lane as a team today. Also top 10 for you. Is it still a success even though you don't get the win personally?
Yeah, ultimately we want to see Team Penske get wins, and Blaney got it done today. So yeah, it's a success, and we got top 5 out of it. And at times we were probably better than that. At times we were worse than that. It just took us too long to get the balance right.
Going to Indy next week, can you take anything here from Pocono? Kind of a similar style track.
Yeah, probably a pretty similar setup, so probably doesn't change a whole bunch. The one thing about there is there's no bumps, and that'll help.
As for the betting cards here from Pocono, I thought we handicapped it pretty well, but once again, just differing strategies and some mid-race craziness there in Stage 3. It kind of hurt us a little more than we wanted to.
Yeah, that's what comes with betting motorsports. We were high on Ty Gibbs coming into the weekend, Elliot, and ends up pulling this son of a bitch early on, had some really great speed right off the truck. Different strategy kind of put him back in the pack a little bit, ends up blowing up in Stage 3. That really hurt my betting card. Had a couple different matchups with him, had a couple different placements with him, so that was disappointing.
Yeah, and for me, it just turned out to be a big mistake to fade Ford. Throughout the day, there were times where they really didn't look like the dominant manufacturer, but Blaney ends up leading most of the laps late. Logano ends up at the top 5. Keselowski runs top 10, and Chris Buescher right outside the top 10 as well. A guy like Buescher, normally pretty crummy at Pocono, ends up with a good day for him in 11th.
Yeah, Denny Hamlin, too. We were heavy on him, Elliot. Ends up staying out when everyone else kind of pit towards the end of the stage. Went for that stage win, went for that playoff point. Kind of fucked us a little bit there. Still was able to cash the top 3, but not the outright. However, I will say we had a 90-1 shot on Josh Berry. He got out to the lead at one point, was able to make a quick cash out there on FanDuel for a 2-1 profit on that. So was happy on that, but really we didn't see a lot of surprises inside the top 10 this year. I know last year we had a nice 4-1 on Eric Jones for a top 10 placement bet. But when you look down this running order here at the end, Elliot, pretty straightforward. No one that you wouldn't expect to be up there. Bottom line, though, it was always a good time to be up here in Pocono. We saw some great racing throughout the entire weekend, especially here on Sunday in the Cup Series, man. And congrats to Ryan Blaney, congrats to this number 12 team and Team Penske. And I think they're going to be ready to go here for not only next week at Indianapolis, but for the playoffs here coming up. All 3 drivers locked in.
Shout out to the IBT fam as well. Thanks for following along with our content all weekend. If you missed anything, go back. We got tweets, we got videos, we got stories coming out. And also shout out to the IBT fam because we got our 1,100 subscriber goal on the YouTube. That means another giveaway is coming up, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah, appreciate everyone tuning into all the content all weekend. We're excited to be back with you next weekend on the back road, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, Thursday night. Check it out. Thanks, everyone.